Hey, beautiful mamas. Welcome back to Pearls of Motherhood, the podcast where we talk about the real, the raw, heart expanding moments of raising tiny humans. I'm your host, Tessie.
And I'm your host, Diana. And today's episode might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but stay with us, okay?
Yeah, because we're saying something out loud that I think a lot of moms feel, but don't always say.
That some kids just don't care.
Oh my gosh, at least not in the way that we expect them to.
And the part we really want you to hear today is that's normal.
Yeah, we're talking about empathy, how it actually develops, and what it looks like in real life.
And how to teach it without feeling like you're repeating be kind all day long with zero results.
Yeah, like that's when I start to feel like a nag when I'm like constantly saying the same thing over and over.
Yep,
Like
same.
saying be kind and then immediately watching them do the opposite all
With
day long.
yep, with full awareness.
Eye contact.
Direct eye contact. Oh gosh. Yeah. Kids.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, why this is normal? I think we have to start here because this is where the relief is. Okay, your child's not broken and you're not failing as a mother.
Yeah, that's super important.
Yeah. So, empathy is obviously something that develops over time. It's not probably not something we're born with. We're so selfish when we're born.
Yeah. Well, we kind of have to be, right?
Think about
Because
it. Yeah.
survival, right? So we've said this before in past episodes, the part of the brain that is responsible for empathy, impulse control, perspective taking, that's the prefrontal cortex, and it's still developing well into your mid 20s.
Okay, which it honestly explains a lot of adults too.
It
Like,
really does.
oh my
It
gosh,
does.
so it does. Okay, so when your child doesn't seem to care that someone's upset, it doesn't mean that they won't ever care. Oh my gosh, this is so hard for me because I have one that's like super in his own world all the time. And something will happen to one of his siblings and he will just like it's not even happening and around him and he's just like, can I have some ice cream? Or like it's like, dude, your sister is really upset right here, she just like pinched her finger in the door or something, and you're just like asking me for ice cream in this moment. I mean, what is you want to say like what is wrong with you, but you don't want to say that because there's like nothing wrong with him.
Right. They just don't have the full capacity yet. I mean, that's what we have to remember. And I've thought it, and I'll admit I probably have said what is wrong with you out loud once or
I've
twice.
totally said that before.
Gosh. My mom confession.
I do. I have said that to them, but I've said it when they are like, I feel like intentionally being cruel, because I do feel like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you intentionally being cruel in this moment? Because that's not cool.
Well, it's all about context, right? So there is an appropriate time for that. But yeah, it's that they just don't have the capacity yet.
Yeah. And so that shift alone, realizing that takes a lot of pressure off.
Right, because you realize it's not a character issue, it's a capacity issue. There's not something wrong with them, they just can't do it yet.
It's just like everything when it comes to kids. The capacity grows over time. And this is
Mm.
why I make a terrible teacher, because I expect them to come out fully formed adults. Like, it's so bad. I really do treat them like they're adults. And I have to remind myself, like, they're not. And also, whenever I'm trying to teach somebody empathy, let's say, or anything else, it doesn't happen the first time. It's not like a one and done. You don't be like, okay, here's how you tie your shoelaces. Now go do it. It's kind of the same concept. It grows with time.
You and I would have made great surgeons. We go in, we fix the problem, we move on.
I know. This is why I'd be a great housekeeper. If I ever have to have a job, I feel like that'd be a great job for me because I go in, it's dirty, I clean it, it's done. Like I move on. It's like very satisfying.
Until you have someone come in behind you and mess it all up while you're cleaning, and then you're just back to motherhood again.
Job
So
security, right?
yeah, that is true. That is so true. So, Tess, have you ever had a moment recently where your child, like, just didn't get it emotionally?
Yeah, I have that all the time. With just one. I have that all the time.
Well, I mean, another example,
Yeah, literally this week. Okay, it's always my kids like hurting their sibling or one of the siblings getting hurt, maybe not like by their sibling, but and then I was waiting for the moment where the one realized, oh, okay, that hurt them,
Mhm.
but it didn't
Th
happen. It's like,
Like,
oh, can I have ice cream?
you're hoping that it clicks, and it just hasn't clicked yet.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, maybe part of it's that they do know, but they just, like, don't know how to acknowledge it. I don't know, but
Well, maybe they just have to grow into it, and you wanna say, "What's wrong with you?" or "Why don't you care?" Right?
yeah, you do. You do wonder, am I raising a psychopath? That's, like, something you wonder. Have you ever had that? Has anyone
All the
else ever had
time.
that thought, like, is my child a sociopath? Am I
Me.
ra
I'm raising my hand right now, me.
It's such a scary thought when you're like, "Oh my god, is my child gonna be one of those statistics that, like, ends up in prison because he's a sociopath? Like, what am I doing wrong?"
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
but, when we say that it's a lack of capacity and not a lack of caring, that kinda that reframe changes everything, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah, it does.
even with that reframe, it can feel really personal, and when it does, ouch.
Yeah, it is personal because I'm like, I thought I was a good mom. I think that my nagging from day one, literally, I nag my children from day one. It's probably not a good quality that I have, but it is one. And I'm like, they should know this. They should know that like when somebody's hurt, we should ask them if they're okay. We should try to make sure help them like. And then I catch myself like, why don't you care in this moment? Like I thought I taught you better than that. Yes, I know you're 4, but crying out loud.
Come on, man. I asked, "How would you feel if someone did that to you?" And she goes, "I don't care." I'm like, "Oh." Just like, "Please care just a little bit, please."
Oh my
You know?
gosh. Yeah, at least make me feel like I'm doing something right in my life.
Yeah, and it makes you question everything.
It actually really does make you question everything and like, should I have become a mother? Like, am I even half good at this? Am I totally
Mhm.
gonna fail? Are they gonna just grow up and be a bunch of sociopaths? Like, I don't know what is. I always tell them all the time. You know this. Don't be like your mommy. Be like your daddy.
Yep, I say that all the time too. Unfortunately, I'm the one that's always around her.
I know because and then they become little mini me's and I'm like, stop. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be a little mini me.
But in reality, it's all part of the learning process, right? So, one thing that really helps make sense of all of this is understanding that empathy helps to build layers.
Yeah, that part changed like how I see things
And
when it
there
you
yeah,
realize that.
and the cool thing is that there are 3 main layers: emotional awareness, perspective taking, and compassionate action.
Yeah, I think most of us jump straight to the last one.
Yes. Yes, immediately.
Uh-huh. Like, let's be kind, share, say sorry. But like we haven't built the earlier pieces yet. We just expect them to I feel like we're saying this all the time on the podcast is like people just expect little humans, little kids to be robots like, "Oh, well
Mhm.
you should understand, be kind, you should be share, you should be sorry." And we just like don't build upon that to get them to
Mhm.
that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's learn about each layer. So the first layer is emotional awareness. And then this is just recognizing and naming the feelings in themselves and in others. So when we say like, "Oh, how I'm sad," type of thing, right?
Yeah, or when you can say like you're frustrated or that made you sad
Yeah.
or I didn't like that or please stop is what I try to tell my kids.
That's a good one. Exactly. And it sounds simple, but it's actually foundational. And there's research showing that when we name these emotions, it actually helps to regulate the brain.
Whoa, that like still amazes me because it feels like I'm just gonna talk it out loud. I feel like I'm talking to a wall most of
Yeah.
the time.
Mhm.
But it's true. Like also with kids, they don't you have to name their
Mhm.
emotions or else they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not born with that downloaded.
I've asked my daughter this, like, name your feelings. She goes, "You tell me," because she doesn't know how to separate it out. She has to comb through it. And I
Ooh.
get that, right? It's
Nice.
because she has all maybe 5 feelings at once because kids are born with all the emotions, but none of the
Mhm.
regulation in your prefrontal cortex. And she goes, "You tell
Yeah.
me." And at first I thought she was just sassing me, being cheeky, but in reality, I think she just wanted me to comb through her feelings with her.
Yeah,
So
that
when you
makes
actually
sense.
yeah, so when you actually say it, you're helping to regulate your brain and you're actually doing something.
Wow. Well, and it makes sense. And it puts like a word to the emotion.
Mhm.
So is that like does that like tie into EQ, where
Yeah.
you maybe
Emotional
that
intelligence, right?
it builds on that.
It definitely does, and some people are just naturally more in tuned than others, but we all had to build it at some point. I think there are some people who are better at it than others for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely still learning a lot of EQ myself. I'm terrible at
I
it.
think I'm good, but sometimes I catch myself and go, "Oh, maybe I'm not."
I don't know. I definitely feel like you're better at it than I am.
Oh, thank you.
But I mean, it's taken me a long time to get to where I'm at. Let's just put it that way.
Again, it's about growth, right? It's something that we're always practicing. So the first layer with emotional awareness is something that we are always practicing and always trying to not only practice but teach it to our kids, right? So, layer number 2 is perspective taking. And this is when kids start to understand that other people have different thoughts and feelings than they do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that explains the blank stare that I get when I say, like, how do you think that made them feel? They
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
obviously can't put themselves in their shoes.
Yeah, because young kids are naturally egocentric. Like they experience the world through their own lens first. They're naturally
Mhm.
selfish, like we just said, right?
Totally naturally selfish. It's like so true. That's why I like sharing the concept of sharing. But okay, let's just go down this rabbit hole for just a second. Okay. Why do we make our kids share? Okay, what is the importance of that? It is important, right? But like
Mhm.
at the same time, so I my brother has like a different perspective on this where he's like, I'm not going to make my kids share because they don't have to share their iPhones when they're adults. They don't have to share their cars. They don't have to like we don't have to share as adults, right? So like why do we teach our kids to share? I understand it's obviously going to teach them empathy, right?
Yeah,
So but you could look at it both ways, I feel like. But
I think you can. I think that as a society, I think that the understanding that we are going to help others kind of softens everything. So, like, I think about my neighbors. I love my neighbors, but if I know that they're inherently going to be no, this is all about me, I'm going to act that way too. And that
yeah.
kind of makes for a miserable existence as opposed to, oh, it snowed here. We're going to help each other dig each other out. That's kind
Mhm.
of a good feeling. So I think that we teach children to share because it's like the golden rule. Like you treat others the way
Mhm.
that you want to be treated. So maybe in some selfish way, just bear with me. Maybe in some selfish way, we want people to share with us. So we at first teach others to share too. I don't know.
I know. It's like we could go down this whole rabbit hole. But with kids, they're obviously so selfish. So when they say like, "Yeah, I wouldn't actually care," and they actually might mean that if they say No, I actually wouldn't care. They probably mean that because they don't understand the bigger picture.
Right. So it's actually not dismissive, it's developmental. That's something to think
Mhm.
about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now our third layer is compassionate action. And this is when empathy turns into behavior like helping and sharing, repairing.
Yes. Okay. This the part that we all want to see, right?
Yeah. But it depends on the first two layers being in place, right?
Exactly. Okay, so I like to think of this as building a house, right?
Oh, that's really good. That's a really good way to picture it.
Yeah, like what do you have to have first if you're building a house? You need to have a really strong foundation. I feel like
Mhm.
that's important in everything in life. Everything that you do, you have to start with good foundation. And
Yeah.
then the structure also has to be solid too, or else the walls are going to fall in as soon as you put the roof on them. So it all like ties in before anything else comes together. You have to have good foundation and a good structure, or else it's just going to collapse.
Right, and then but we're often, like, expecting the finished result, and when you're still at the beginning, that's not fair. So if your child isn't showing empathy yet, it doesn't mean that they won't, right?
Yeah, it just means that they're still building the foundation and the structure and they're just
Mhm.
working on it. And if you think about building a house, that also doesn't happen overnight or just
Yeah.
like in the snap of a finger just because you say it one time, like build a house, share, be nice, care about your sister.
I love that analogy. That's such an awesome one, Tessie. And it's helpful to pause and ask, like, which layer is your kid in right now? So,
Hmm.
can I go first?
Yeah.
So I actually think that my kid is in between the perspective phase and the compassionate phase. So she shares and she apologizes and she's a helper sometimes, but I do see her still struggling with understanding that people have different perspectives. She doesn't always understand that like taking something is wrong, and then there are times that she does. And so I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't
Hmm.
know what reaction I'm really gonna get. Is that weird? Like she's in between
No.
phases,
Yeah, no. Well, first off, she's a girl, so she's like unpredictable.
and she's my girl, so even more unpredictable. The world better
Yeah.
look out.
And also, like, what if she's just having a bad day and she like doesn't want maybe there's some days where she has more capacity just like we do. Maybe she
Yeah,
didn't sleep well that night. I don't know.
I
It could
think
be playing into it.
true. How about you?
You know what's interesting about me? I don't know if it's like a personality thing with my kids or what, but I definitely have one that I call him a mini adult because he is just so aware. I feel like he's like at the top level. He's so
Yeah.
compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the protector. He is there trying to help his siblings whenever he can. He
Mm-hmm.
helps me whenever he can. And but he's like a perfectionist. And I think he gets that from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's a good thing for him to have cuz it like drives me crazy. But anyways, then I have other one who's like literally living in La La Land and like could care less about what's going on with anybody around him. Doesn't even notice. But I don't know. It's like maybe it's a personality thing to a certain extent too.
Yeah, that I think that's very legitimate. And honestly, between us, the perfectionism, yes, it can be a tricky thing, but I think it's a driving point. You have to want to get things right in life in order to be
Yeah,
good at it, right?
I
You
know.
can't just be like,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm just not going to get this," and just kind of let it go and really succeed. So I think there's a
I
spectrum.
know. I know. Okay, so here's like the dichotomy of it. Okay, I'm a perfectionist. I think you should do if you're going to do something, you do it right the first time and you got to do things well. You don't like just half do something and I want things a certain way and I think there's a certain way. But then like the other side of the coin is like I don't know how to relax. I don't know how to let things go. I don't know how to like just go with the flow because I
Yeah.
have to be controlling everything and
So about
So
balance, right?
it's like, where is my mental health? Okay. But at the same time, it's like, I get stuff done. I'm a doer. Okay. And I
Mhm.
do think we need doers in the world.
We do. We do. It's all about balance, right? It's all about
Yeah.
balance.
And that's how my son is. He's a doer. Okay. Okay. So this actually made me think of something as we're talking about this. Like, what happens if someone doesn't really build those first layers? So, what if you have a parent that, or we're parents, and we don't teach our kids these first layers or help them build that? What happens? Because I feel like you have to learn these eventually in life. So, do you just learn them later on in life and then you're basically like emotionally immature as an adult?
Mhm. I mean, those are all really good questions, and the reassuring part is that you can still learn these skills later on. Just because you're
Yeah.
not a kid anymore, you can still do it as an adult.
Okay, so it's not like a fixed outcome. You're never going to learn it if you don't learn it young, but you
Correct.
probably do have to learn it. I feel like that was me. Like I had to learn it as an adult and figure it out on my own because my parents didn't necessarily, like, they're not the greatest communicators, especially when it comes to emotions. I don't know if that's like a generational thing.
No, my parents are the same way. I don't know, maybe it is generational. I don't know. Maybe we
Yeah,
just overshare as a generation now. Who knows?
maybe. Yeah, so it's not a fixed outcome. You can actually like form it later on in life, right?
Correct, correct. But the thing is that when those early layers are weaker, it can actually show up as difficulty identifying emotions or struggling to see other perspectives or having a hard time repairing after conflict.
Oh my gosh. That is like me in a nutshell. I hate emotions. Okay. My husband must have got all of these foundational and structural things as a child, which I could see because we had different upbringings. But that's me. I like stray away from any kind of emotion, conflict, anything. I'm just like, stop being so emotional. And he's like, I'm just being normal.
And it's more of like a reminder that it's what we're doing now matters, just because we didn't get the best foundation in something, we can still learn and we can still reinforce, especially as adults, because it's our choice at that point. We are in charge of our lives and how we
Mhm.
react to things.
Yeah. It actually is really hopeful. So if you're listening to this
Mhm.
and you're feeling like I didn't get that foundation, how am I supposed to teach something that I never got? Well, you've probably been learning it or teaching it along the way to yourself, which is kind
Mhm.
of what I did. And you can choose, now that you know this, you could go and study it if you really were
Yeah,
interested in it.
exactly.
Because it means that
Exactly.
all those small moments, naming the feelings, slowing down, and helping them repair, they're
Yeah.
building something long term, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
So, how do you teach empathy without losing your mind? Okay, so now that we understand what's actually going on developmentally, let's talk about what this looks like in real life. Because
Yeah.
this is the part where it feels doable or completely exhausting.
Yeah, because it's one thing to understand it. It's like going to college and learning everything you can in a book, right?
Mhm.
Medical school or whatever. And it's a complete other thing to live it when everyone's tired and everyone's crying and like real world application.
Yes, that's where it really comes from, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing we have to do is to model it, and not in a polished way, but in a real everyday way. Not the way the textbook says it, but an actual application.
Mm. Yes, this is so profound because it is less about what I tell them, which I'm really good at telling them what to do and how to
Mhm.
behave in like the best ways. But it's more about them seeing me do it. So, like, this actually is like a huge wake up call.
Same, exactly. Like if I say
Oh
I'm
my
getting
gosh.
frustrated, I'm going to take a breath, and that's a full empathy lesson right there, because we're naming it.
Yes, and that's something also that I try to do with them is I try to show my kids empathy
Mhm.
even in the moments where it's like not easy for me,
Mhm.
where they're like throwing a fit or having a big emotion or like sad or whatever. I'm really not good with that kind of stuff, but I try to show them empathy in that moment, which is really good cuz like when we don't handle something well, we have to fix it. We have to show empathy, and that might actually be the bigger lesson here.
Yeah, that repair piece matters so much.
Yeah.
And then another one that sounds simple, but it's a really powerful thing is to name it, to tame it. Naming your emotions.
Yeah, it's like something I feel like I'm constantly saying, like, you're upset, that made you sad, you're frustrated. Just like
Mhm.
tell them, because actually I think that could give them power because they actually know what
Yeah,
is going on.
like combing through their emotions and you're kind of
Yeah.
sorting it out for them. And there's actual research behind that, that when we name the emotions, it actually calms the brain.
Hmm. Which is kind of wild because it literally feels like I'm just talking and nagging.
You are, but you're doing something. You're calming instead of escalating.
My husband calls me the number one nagger.
Can I get that on a banner, like on a tiara or something?
I know, I get a trophy for that one.
Yes.
Hey, well, I'm going to tell him I'm actually doing something. I'm calming them, not
Ex
escalating them. I'm actually
exactly.
being productive here, okay?
And, he's in mental health, so he will appreciate that.
Exactly. He should already know this. I'll have to tell him, "You don't already know this?"
Oh, was it not in your textbook? This is real life, honey. Here, let me help you.
Yeah. Welcome to the real world.
I know, right? So, the next step is to focus on repair, not forced apologies.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that relates to our last episode about the forgiveness. And I feel like, okay, if somebody is coming to you and you can feel like it's a forced apology and they don't actually really care, does
Mhm,
that really feel like genuine? Do you feel like you can actually forgive them in that moment? Probably
mhm.
not, right?
Mhm. That makes a lot of sense. We want them to say sorry, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they understand what happened because they're children.
Yeah, and it can be automatic, especially if like it's something that you're like not good at. You're just checking a box and
Yeah.
then you're just, okay, I'm just saying sorry just because I know that this is what needs to be done, but what can you do better?
Yeah.
How can you do better?
I ask my husband I tell my husband all the time, I want her to understand what "I'm sorry" means. So instead, I'll ask like, "What can we do to make this better?" Kind of more of an
Mhm.
open-ended question.
That's really profound. I want her to understand what sorry means. I never thought about teaching my kids like what sorry means. I
Bec
just tell them, say sorry.
Yeah. Well, so honestly, I grew up with "say sorry," so I would say it, but I didn't actually mean it. Like, there was no
Yeah.
compassion, there was no empathy. It's like, I just said it, "Can I go now?" type of thing,
Oh
like,
my
checking a box, like you
gosh.
said.
Oh my gosh. That's like so profound for me. That was like mind blowing. it's not it's not always just saying sorry. It's not always just a hug that's going to
Mhm.
make it better. It might be space, or it might be like helping fix something, or
Yes.
it just depends on what the situation is and the person.
Yeah, 100%. I love that, helping to fix something, because in that moment, there's something to do and you can actually physically make something better.
Yes.
I
And
love that.
I love how you ask, like, what can I do to make this better?
Yeah, because usually it's something that's broken. In my house, it's usually something that's broken that needs
Oh
cleaning
my
up or
gosh.
fixing.
That's
So,
funny.
it taps into my doer mentality. That's what I'm appealing to.
You can check it off that. You can check that off the
Exactly.
list.
But I understand what it means.
Yes.
Alright, so the next step is to teach in the calm moments and not the chaos. So,
Mm,
that's a big shift. It's all about timing, right?
yes. Yeah.
So, trying to teach empathy in the middle of a meltdown, it's not gonna work because
No.
a dysregulated brain cannot learn, right?
No, everyone's too far gone. It's like trying to like reason with a drunk person. Not gonna happen.
Yes. Yeah, it's not gonna happen, you're right. You have to calm it down and connect first,
Yeah.
and then come back to it later.
Yeah, that alone has changed things like for me, now that I'm thinking about this, just thinking about it like that is changing so many. How am I going to approach these situations in the future?
Mhm. Yep. So when we say connect first, what does that actually look like in real life?
Yeah, because in the moment, it doesn't feel calm or intentional. It feels like complete chaos, which is my life 24/7.
So we came up with a couple of examples, some real world examples, and let's just work through them. Maybe we can actually apply them. So the first one is okay, a child grabbing a toy, right? Everyone does that. So
Mhm,
let's say your
mhm.
kid grabs a toy and the other kid starts crying. And the instinct for us is to jump in with like, give that back, be nice.
Yeah, share. It's like
Right.
an immediate correction, just like an automatic.
Yeah, it's like a knee jerk reaction, it's a reflex. But connecting first might sound more like, oh, you really wanted that toy. That was frustrating.
And you can almost feel the shift when you say it.
Right? You're not approving the behavior, you're acknowledging the feeling.
Yeah. And so once they feel understood, they're actually more open to what comes next,
Yeah.
which is
So,
what? Sharing?
right, exactly, right? So, example number 2, hitting or a big reaction. So, let's say your child hits, and instead of jumping straight to no hitting, you might start with, "Oh, that made you really mad."
Yeah. Okay. Which obviously in the moment feels counterintuitive.
It totally does. But you're helping them feel seen first, and then you can follow with, "I won't let you hit. Let's figure out another way."
Yeah, and I also say when they hit, like, that hurts them because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't believe that kids understand that. I feel like that ties into the empathy. I don't know necessarily, especially below a certain age. Like, I don't know if they actually understand that that really hurts. I don't really know.
Right? Like natural consequences. They don't understand the chain of events and that the outcome is that
Yeah.
you injured someone. No, that's a great
Mhm.
point.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's not like removing the boundary. It's just changing the order.
Right. Exactly. So, example number 3, that I don't care moment. Okay, so let's go back to that moment for a second.
Yeah, okay. That one triggers everything. Doesn't that just, like, infuriate you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like so many feelings at once.
Ugh.
But
All of a
it
sudden, the smoke's coming out of my ears like, "Ah!
and
How
my
dare you?"
mouth and my eyeballs. So, okay, instead of correcting right away, you might say, "It doesn't feel like a big deal to you right now."
Yeah, that feels so different than, "Oh, well, you should care. You should care. That's your brother. You should care. What's wrong with you?"
Exactly. You're meeting them where they are, and instead of trying to pull them from somewhere they're not ready to go yet. And it's like connection doesn't mean you agree with the behavior.
Yeah, it means you understand the feeling behind it.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so shall we name a simple formula? So like just for like when we're in that moment, something for us to remember to try to remember what to do. Should we try
Yeah,
that?
something
Mm,
simple so that we can
mm.
remember it in these, like, chaotic, like, angry moments. Because if it's not simple, we're not gonna remember it in those moments for sure. I don't remember anything in non-chaotic moments.
When I'm in chaos, all I see is red. So
Oh my gosh, me too, especially when I'm angry. I don't know what I'm doing in that moment.
so we're gonna break this down really easily. Okay. 1, notice the feeling. 2,
Mhm.
name the feeling. 3, guide the behavior.
That is really helpful, like, when you think about it, because it gives you something to actually do in the moment instead of reacting and feeling helpless.
You know what we should do? We should actually
What?
make a quick printout so we can put it on our fridge and run to it,
Oh.
right?
Yes, we should.
We should,
It's a good
I will
idea.
get on that.
Yeah.
Notice it, name it, and then guide it.
Yes, yes, that's awesome. We could carry it in our pocket, make it small enough I can, like, put it in my pocket. Be like,
Yes.
"Wait a minute, what am I supposed to do here? Because 'Cause I'm so mad." Look at my
We
paper.
Yep. We could put on a bracelet. Oh my gosh. We could
Oh, a
put on a bracelet.
bracelet.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so let's talk about why this works. Like, so just a quick little bit of science. So, when a child feels understood, their nervous system calms down, and a calm brain is a teachable brain.
That makes sense. So instead of trying to teach in the middle of the storm, you're helping the storm pass first,
Yeah,
calm them
and
down. Yeah.
exactly. And this is why we say connection first, then teaching.
Because empathy isn't learned in the height of emotion, it's learned once they feel safe enough to actually hear you.
Yes. That is profound. And I love that. All right, so going back to our list. Okay, next one. We have to like going back to what you said, Tessie, when you said when they hit, you tell them it hurt, natural consequences, right? There
Mhm.
we have to let them see the impact of their actions.
Yeah, and also without making it a big lecture, which is like something I'm totally guilty of
I'm
doing.
so bad at that. I make everything into this lecture and she
Oh
just
my
glazes
gosh.
over.
I always say I'm sure my kids are like tired of hearing my voice. It's like I
Yeah,
talk so much.
same. So something you can do is like, oh, so you could say, okay, you pushed and she cried. So just simple, clear, and effective.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. So let's celebrate the wins. Okay. One thing I've been trying to do more is actually notice when they actually do show empathy.
Yeah, that's huge. That's absolutely
Yeah.
huge.
Because those moments, they're easy to miss. It's just like everything when they're doing something right. Like, right, you want to give them attention when they're doing something right rather than when they're doing something wrong because it reinforces that. You don't want to
Yes,
reinforce wrong behavior.
exactly. Those are like you said, those are the moments you want to reinforce. It's like um positive feedback type of thing, right?
Yeah, even something small like pausing or checking on someone, just super small, like just the tiniest things
Mhm.
make a big
Saying
difference.
saying it out loud matters.
Yeah, and
Um,
what you notice really does
mm,
grow. It does. It really is true that whatever you are paying attention to and like pointing out to your kids, they do
mhm.
more of.
100% yes. So, what not to do if you want to stay sane? So, okay, really quick reality check. There are a few things that make this harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, and we've both done all of these.
Yep. Number one, over explaining. That's me.
Oh my gosh, the long speeches of why and not and why you should be.
And
Yeah.
we think it's productive, but they're glazed over and they're not listening anymore.
Especially boys, I feel like boys are good at toning.
Girls
Maybe
too.
girls too, actually. Another one is labeling.
Yeah, calling them like mean or selfish.
And then that becomes their story they start to believe.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't want them to believe that, right? Because they're not
You
they're
don't
not
want to think that they're
intentionally
like bad.
bad. Yeah, they're
I
not because they're
know.
really good. All
It
right.
just reminds me of my daughter's always telling me, "You're a bad mommy."
Oh, that hurts my heart for you. Oh.
I think it's so funny. But there's also something that I tell my kids too is like if somebody says something to you or says your certain thing and you're not like who cares? It's not true. But anyways, moving on.
Well, no, owning your own truth. That's another episode we can dive into,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
That
Yeah.
would be interesting. Okay, next, don't explain adult level empathy. Too much too soon.
Yeah, right? They're still building this. They don't understand it.
Mhm.
And don't ignore your own capacity.
Yeah, this is the one I come back to a lot.
I know. If I'm overwhelmed, I'm not teaching empathy. I'm just reacting, screaming, doing whatever. Sometimes the most empathetic thing to do is to actually step away, take a break, go take a
Yeah.
breather.
Yeah. Step away, regulate yourself because regulated moms raise regulated kids.
Yeah, not perfectly, but consistently. And it is true. Like I have moms that are super chill, friends that are
Mhm.
super chill, and their kids are just so
Mm,
chill. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could be like that.
me
I'm
too.
way too neurotic to be that way, but it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Same, same.
Yeah.
All right, so coming back to what we said in the beginning, that idea that some kids just don't care, what we really mean is that they don't care yet.
Yeah, and that yet matters because it shifts everything from fear to growth and it takes the pressure off needing to see it right away.
Yeah, it becomes something we're building, not something that we're forcing.
Yeah, empathy doesn't grow from pressure. You can't force it. It grows from connecting and
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
A lot of practice. Still
Yeah,
practicing.
I
Right here.
know. I'm a terrible example. Don't follow me.
Be more like your father.
Exactly. Thank God for their father, right?
Yeah, right?
They
All
would
right.
be those sociopaths in jail if they were following my footsteps.
Yeah, same. All right, so we digress. But before we get into the pearls, we want to share a message from one of you because this one really captures what burnout can look like in real life.
Yeah, this one is felt really familiar.
Okay, so this message is from Ashley in Columbus, Ohio. Tessie, you want to read it?
Sure. I didn't realize I was burnt out because nothing in my life looked that bad on the outside. I was keeping up with everything meals, work, laundry, school stuff, but I felt constantly irritated, exhausted, and disconnected. The moment hit me when my daughter asked me to play, and I said, not right now. And I meant not today. That scared me. I always thought burnout would look like falling apart, but for me, it looked like showing up every day with nothing left inside. Your podcast helped me realize I wasn't failing, I was just running on empty. I've started taking small breaks, saying no more often, and asking for help. It's not perfect, but I feel like I'm slowly coming back to myself.
Oh, Ashley, wow, that line, not right now, but I meant not today. That says it all.
Yeah, that hit me because from the outside, everything looks like it's working, but internally, you're completely depleted. And I've
And
been there too.
oh yeah, and that's what makes burnout so hard to recognize.
Yeah, it doesn't always look like falling apart. Sometimes it looks like functioning, but just barely. And only you know it because that's how you know on the inside. Nobody can see it.
Yeah, you're showing up, you're getting things done, but at the same time, you're just disconnected from all of it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of moms stay there longer than they actually realize because they keep telling themselves, I'm fine. This is just a busy season. This is not going to be forever,
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we rename it. I mean, in one of our episodes, we discussed that moms are burned out for an average of 6 months before they even realize it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And I totally feel that. Like I've been
Mm.
there.
Oh, same,
We've both been there.
same. What I love most about Ashley's message, though, is that moment of awareness.
Hmm. Yeah, that's it. That's an important key because you can't actually fix something till you realize what the
Hmm.
problem is.
Yep. She realized that instead of pushing through it, she started making small shifts.
Yeah, which is exactly what I've been talking about. It's not about overhauling your whole entire life overnight. It's about those small intentional moments, rest, boundaries, asking for help, and slowly finding your way back to yourself. And also, like, don't do anything that you're doing just to keep up appearances or because you think other moms are going to judge you or think that you should do this because other moms are or that you can have it all because you should have it all. Like don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't
Yeah.
do that to yourself.
Don't keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, it's
Don't do
they're
it.
not that cool. They're not that
No,
cool.
they're not. They're not. Wait, do it your way. We always say do motherhood, but your way. Do it your
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And also that last line, she said, I feel like I'm slowly coming back to myself. That's the beginning of that shift.
Yeah, that's the shift to the badass era.
Oh, I love that.
I think we have an episode from burnout to badass.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
That must have been the one she was talking about. Oh my God. I'm just like getting into the picture. Don't mind me over here, deprived mother of 5. I mean, sleep deprived mother.
Sleep
I'm
deprived.
deprived actually of everything.
Nutrients, liquids, sleep, all the above.
Exactly. Food. Who needs it?
So if you're listening and you see yourself in Ashley's story,
you're not behind, you're not failing.
You're noticing.
And that's where everything can change.
So let's pull this all together.
Okay, here are your pearls from today's episode.
Okay. Pearl number 1. Your child isn't giving you a hard time. They're learning a hard skill.
Pearl number 2. Name the feeling and you calm the moment.
Pearl number 3. Don't chase apologies. Build repair.
Pearl number 4. Teach in the calm, not the chaos.
Pearl number 5. Connection isn't soft. It's effective.
And our final pearl, empathy isn't something you force. It's something you grow slowly, imperfectly, and beautifully alongside your child.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway for me is just like this, the slower than the slow, like the slow. I'm not good at that, but that's like a great.
Yeah, like it's slower than we expect, but it's still working, right?
It's still working, yes. And it's slow. That's the process. Like, that's the thing. It's not instant. We're in a microwave society, and it's not going to be microwave.
Like I said, we would have made great surgeons. Get in, get out, we're done. But that's not real life.
I know.
So if your child seems like they don't care right now, just take a breath. They're learning something that takes time.
Yeah. And if we're actually really being honest, so are we.
This isn't about getting it perfect. It's about showing up again and again in the small, ordinary ways.
Yeah, because those are the moments that build something bigger over time, even when we can't see it yet.
Yeah. So if this episode gave you a little perspective or helped you take a breath today, share it with a mama who might need to hear this. And come find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads at Pomcast. That's POMCASTS.
Yes, we love connecting with you and hearing your stories, your wins, your real life moments.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.